Is it time to hire a sales manager? I'll tell you what, real estate sales manager training is one of the biggest gaps in our entire industry. There's no one actually out there developing leaders. So we decided to take a stab at it. And here's what we're finding. We're finding that real estate teams get to a certain size where they need to grow. It's kind of like this hermit crab shell dilemma. It's, I don't know if you've ever had a hermit crab or if you can picture a hermit crab in your mind, but what happens is as the hermit crab grows, their shell stays the same. And eventually their body outgrows the shell. Well, it's very, very similar with real estate teams. Teams get to a point where the leader has outgrown their ability to manage the growth. And so it comes to the place or the time where they have to put in a new level of leadership. And that means they hire a sales manager. If you're a broker owner and you're hiring a sales manager for your office, or you're a team leader and you need to hire a sales manager for your team, then you probably realize it's not as easy as you think. A lot of leaders hire other managers and find that they don't have the ability to lead. Well, I want you to look in the mirror and ask yourself the question, do I really know how to develop a leader? If the answer is no, then maybe we can just help you a little bit with this concept. Leadership development means we study leadership. We go and we learn everything we can about being a leader. And most of the leadership lessons we've learned is by trial and error. Hey, we've screwed up a few sales managers and we've messed up people ourselves in the growth of our own businesses. And by making mistakes and by screwing things up, we've learned to put better systems in place so the next time we hire, we eliminate those excuses for failure. So you can do it yourself and you can run through some of the pain and the challenges that we've had over the years, or you can copy what we've learned and avoid some of those mistakes and keep yourself from making the same bad hires. So now let's talk about growing our team. The problem is that most sales managers don't understand how to deal with the team leaders who are entrepreneurs, and they really don't know how to create consistency and stability and security for the people that they lead. Cleve Gaddis, one of the master coaches at Workman Success Systems, is coaching so many high-performing teams and dealing with the same issues with all their sales managers. He decided that he would take all of their sales managers and put them into a group. The group is focused on how to deal with team leaders and how to lead their teams effectively, and is having tremendous success. It's become so successful that other coaches have asked to let their sales managers join Cleve's mastermind group of sales managers. And graciously, if you're a Workman Success client, he's opened that door to you. So we're coaching so many different sales managers as we're developing the team leaders to grow their businesses. So I'm going to share with you a few stories or examples of the challenges they run into from the perspective of the coach, the master coach, who's running our sales manager mastermind. So how do we do that? So what is sales management? What is it really? Let's define it. So in my opinion, sales management is making others feel accountable and becoming more successful. So it's creating an environment where I own it, I have accountability, I own my job, and I feel successful in doing it. Accountability is created by creating awareness of whether or not they're performing as you agreed upon when they started. Let's go back to how do we establish accountability and awareness? It all begins by clearly establishing what the definition of success is. In your role as a sales manager, can you clearly define what success means to you? At the end of the day, a week, a month, a quarter, or the year? If you don't know what the success looks like each day, then that means the people you'll lead with don't know what success looks like for me. It's not enough to have a definition of success as an agent. The agent and the leader must share the same definition, so we're guiding them in the right spot. The definition of success must be an activity that leads to the results you want. Let me give you an example. If your definition of success is make $100,000, that's not how we define success at the end of the day, because you won't know you've gotten there till the end of the year. If the definition of success is 2 face-to-face appointments today, and the way we manage success at the end of the day is did I get face-to-face with 2 people, that is a clear, true definition of success. So my job as a leader is to help you get that. Does that make sense? It's not the end, but it's that thing we're going to measure, the actual activity that will lead us to the results we want at the end of the year. Face-to-face meetings matter. So number 2 is create the awareness of how the agent is performing each week compared to their competition or compared to their last week's performance. We want to focus on progress, not perfection. Are they getting better? And you have to do it every week. You have to evaluate, hey, here's where we're trending. Are we on track or not on track? And let's review that together. The next is when they're off track, we have to be able to create what I call course corrections. And that's simply like your GPS telling you you're off track and need to make a U-turn. If what you're doing is not getting you the 2 face-to-face meetings each week, you need to make a course correction and maybe start focusing on other activities that will make that happen. So when you're doing course corrections, I don't want you to give as a manager, I don't want you to give any more than 2 course corrections at a time. Understand you're trying to create a new experience and have that agent realize that the advice you're giving with a course correction is going to result in more face-to-face appointments. So when you give them too much to focus on, they don't know what actually worked. So no more than 2. It's always a risk that can't be avoided to give too much information. So create new experiences for your team, create new experiences for your agents, and then let's just kind of see what happens. Sales managers in the training of their agents must have a definition of success that is different than the agents. As a manager, I want you to think about that. You understand what their definition of success is, and you help them get that 2 face-to-face meetings. Your definition of success is different than the agents because the agents is focused on what? Selling houses. Yours has to be focused on developing agents. So it's not possible for one person to create a feeling of accountability in the other. You have to determine what your measurement of success is going to be, and then make sure that you've got weekly discussions happening with your leader, your owner, to make sure you're performing as agreed upon and that you have a clear definition of success. The biggest thing with leadership, I'll tell you from a sales management perspective, and I would encourage all of you that are sales managers to get into coaching. Like, schedule a free coaching consult. I'm going to give you a link right here at the end of this video where you can schedule a coaching consult. Get into coaching with Workman and then get into our sales management mastermind so that your sales managers are being developed to understand how to create a win, how to measure a win in every area of their business. I'll tell you, agents who are developing and growing sales are looking for the next level. They're also looking for time with their leaders to be able to know if what they're doing is working. You have to create what I call is a rhythm of meetings. If you're going to schedule a meeting once a week with your team leaders, you got to hold it once a week on the same time. You don't cancel it. It's not a cancelable, adjustable meeting. Unless it's an emergency, your house is burning down, we hold those meetings. So make sure that you're consistent in giving your people access to you as a leader. We talked about 3 steps for creating awareness and turning it into accountability. We talked about having a clear definition of success. We discussed how to maintain consistency in meetings. And if we've gone through that together, maybe you thought yourself, yeah, I think I could use a little bit of help with this. If you're thinking that, I want you to know that there is help. You don't have to do it on your own. Just click on the link below, schedule a consult with our unbelievable team of business consultant Workman Success Systems. Let's evaluate where you are. Let's determine whether or not you're on the right path. And then we can see if there's an opportunity for us to work together. I don't know any high performers in any business, any sport, or any team that aren't well coached. So think about getting a coach, and let's think about developing and training your sales manager at the next level.